Bible is full of examples of God being the shepherd of his world, and specifically of humanity. God created the world, and he did not just abandon the world for the world to look after itself in the ways that it chooses, but God has taken that role of looking after the world and looking after humanity and put it in the hands of his creation, his men and women that he chooses to be shepherd. Shepherding is best seen in examples of people with their herd of cattle, how they shepherd their cows, their sheep, their goats, their animals around them. And we have several pictures of those. One of the best pictures we have is of David, the shepherd boy, and the stories that he says of himself not going to sleep and allowing wolves to destroy any of his cattle. And we see also from the Old Testament especially, God taking this responsibility of his people and giving it to men and considering his people as his flock. So in ancient Israel, the prophets, the teachers of the law, and the kings were considered as shepherds of the flock of God. And it is this image that from Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all through the Old Testament, that Jesus now takes on to himself, and he says, I am the good shepherd. So whatever failures previous shepherds had over the flock of God, Jesus is giving us a model of who this God is, who shepherds his world. And now Jesus is that living model, as it were, of how to love the flock of God, of how to care for the flock of God, of how to feed, to be a shepherd loving the flock. Is one who lays down his life for the flock. But what does the thief do? He comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So the difference between the shepherd loving the flock is in John 10:10. The one who is not the good shepherd doesn't care that the flock will get destroyed theologically, or will get destroyed physically, or will get destroyed politically, economically. I mean, he doesn't care. He only cares about himself. But the shepherd who loves the Lord, who loves his flock as God loves his flock, will care. That is the shepherd I pray God will make me into, and I hope and pray that God will make most of us who have accepted the call of God into, that we will so care for the flock of God. It's not our flock, it's the flock of God, and that one day we will account before him who has made us under shepherds on this part of eternity.